Johal and the Beatler, Surrey 604.
Oh yeah.
Sukh and I are headed into Vancouver here to the cuddlery. People pay the money to come and cuddle.
You know, I think we're really going to dig deep of the effects that a hug can have on a human.
No, this is more than a hug though, right? This is full-on cuddling.
Full-on cuddling, yes. Full-on cuddling.
Yeah. Sukh is gonna wear his pajamas.
You know, I think in some ways it could be similar to something that's tantric, if you know what that means, where a male and a female come together and have a real physical closeness where their energies connect. And I'm looking forward to seeing what that feeling is like, because I haven't really had a cuddling session before. So,
and it's interesting that you say, like the sort of bringing together in the energy that happens there, because one of the things that they're saying on their website is that cuddling releases a hormone called oxytocin, or I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it. It's oxytocin. I don't know if you saw this or not.
Yeah.
And that's really the whole like core of what their service is for. So it's like people, when they don't have this physical contact for a long time, antisocial sort of things start coming up. They get stressed out, and they're saying that stress can build up in your body and actually affect your DNA and causes you to age more rapidly. So what they're saying actually is that these cuddling sessions release these hormones, which basically lubricate your DNA, so to speak, and prevents you from, well, aging. It helps you reduce the effects of aging and stress.
I think a hug or a cuddle is a real, true expression of love. Do you think that'd be fair to say?
Absolutely. It's an intimate thing. And that is what is, you know, I've had some conversations with some people, some colleagues at work and friends and stuff about this. This has been getting a ton of media attention, this company, lately. They're pretty new. And yeah, so it's a question of the intimacy. People are paying to get this intimacy, right? Yeah. It's like charging by the hour.
There's a real value here.
There's a value here, but we're also curious, so we're going to ask some questions about, you know, what's this all about? And some people are skeptical, right?
Yeah.
Some people are skeptical about, like,
they think it's some sort of a service that is an adult type service?
Yeah, these like escorts, is this like, you know, is there sexual favors in the end, tipping or happy ending or whatever, right? So we really want to be your voice and to try to ask some of the questions that people might be asking and skeptical about.
Yeah.
Looking at their website, I get the impression that these guys are legit. They have a contract people have to sign.
Yeah, excellent.
They told us that Sukh had to make sure that he went through that contract before we did the session.
I will do that.
Yeah, I better do it soon. And basically, it strictly says no sexual anything like that. It's not a sexual service at all, and they have a reputation to uphold. So we're going to investigate that.
Yeah.
But it's really, Sukh is going to be our guinea pig.
Yeah.
And he's going to go in there and have a session. They asked that I don't come in, so he's going to go into the room alone with the cuddler. And then we're going to give them some time to give him a chance to experience that. And then we're going to just see how it goes. So we're going to give you an experiential cuddling session through the eyes of Sukh.
Get ready to be cuddled.
Hello, it's Daman here from Surrey 604, and I'm with Marilyn, the owner of the Cuddlery, a Vancouver-based cuddling company. That's Cuddlers for hire. You can pay them to come and cuddle with you. You've had some activity in Toronto and Edmonton. Maybe you could tell me a little more about that.
Well, actually, we're expanding, so we're trying to hire people right now in Toronto and in Moncton. So that's where we are in the process right now.
Okay, and then also services available now in Surrey. So we, of course, Surrey 604, are really excited about that. Marilyn, tell me about the history. Like, how did you get involved with this idea? Like, where did it come from?
Well, actually, it started 4 years ago. I was new in a city. I was in a really stressful career and place in my life. So I'm a touchy person. I wanted someone to cuddle, and I was surprised how hard it is to find a good cuddler. And we would imagine a young woman would find it easy, but it's really hard because so many times the men wanted more and things like that. And I was like, I would pay for such a service. So if I would pay, probably other people would as well.
Very cool. So tell me, like, what did you do before you were a cuddler?
Oh, I have a really busy life. I'm lucky enough that I have a successful life. I was even in the European Union teaching to senior officials how to help them through the presidency in European Union. I also was in charge of project manager and for the Commission of European Union Education. So I have really a strong background. But I think that bringing happiness is more important.
Fantastic. So maybe you can tell me like some of the research you did when you were starting up this company, like about cuddling and the effects of it. Like,
well, first of all, there doesn't need to be any research to know that it feels good.
Right.
So it feels good.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Physically. And then when I looked at that, the first research I did was legal research.
Right.
I wanted to know if there would be any problem for example, if it was considered prostitution or not, what was the limit.
Right.
So that was one of it. And of course the research, I love science, so I knew already like different studies based, for example, when they looked the effect of cuddling on monkeys, that actually they prefer affection towards eating, even when they were with a kind of wired mother. So it's really interesting how deep it's anchored, cuddling, and we are deprived in North America, and all the research that I've looked, all the studies are showing the same thing, that
wow,
actually
it's really instinctual.
Yes. What is really interesting to know as well with benefit-wise is that a lot of people actually feel that it's much more beneficial cuddling than, for example, massage, because there's the affectional part as well in it.
Yeah, that's true. That human connection, right? Well, what we're going to do now is Sukh from Surrey 604 is going to actually have a cuddling session with you. So, Sukh, if you want to step in here in my seat for a sec and just to kind of introduce yourself and say what you're doing. Here's the mic.
The French way.
Absolutely. Thanks, David. Thanks, David. Yeah.
Hi.
So I'm looking forward to this cuddling session. You know, I told my mom I was going to do this, and she said to me, just close your eyes and just think of it like your family member. Really feel the warmth and the whole essence of the love, because hugging itself is a very spiritual,
I like your mother.
beautiful thing. Yeah. So this is going to be a unique experience. A little bit about myself. I am an experienced meditator, so I am able to get in my Zen state. But to be able to have physical contact with a female at the same time, I've never done that. So this is going to be very interesting for me.
I just wanted to say, yes, it's true that human beings, more they touch, happier they are. Study shows that. And actually, the cuddle hormone, they call this, actually, it's oxytocin. And oxytocin has several effects. And some of them are reducing stress, increasing bonding between people, reducing pain, reducing blood pressure. So it's really a whole body experience. But of course, I do not believe it's if you have really big problems, you should also have other different means to get better with these problems. Yeah. But definitely, cuddling is a big plus in your life, and it can bring you so much that it can even dig you out of dark places.
So I'm going to exit the room. And
so
clear this stuff off the bed for you. Marilyn's just stepped out for a minute. Sukh, how are you feeling there, buddy?
Oh, I honestly felt like I just got a massage, but I didn't get a massage. I got a cuddle. I got a hug. I feel very zen-like, very calm, very relaxed. This is very therapeutic. The different positions that she had. You know, she really knows what she's doing. They've broken this down into a science.
Seems like it, yeah. Your head's just like floating right now, right?
Oh, I'm floating. I'm on cloud 9 right now. Like, I'm so relaxed. I am. Right now, I just don't have a worry in the world, and you know, my blood is flowing freely in my body. I feel really fresh and relaxed. Hello, how are you?
Very good, thanks.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you
How are
too.
you?
Oh, you're all cuddled up. I can feel it. I can feel your beautiful energy.
He's a good cuddly,
Yeah.
for sure.
You know, before I would, like, I'm just coming in, so I would never just start cutting. I would make sure that I brush my teeth and feel, you know, be fragrant.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
if you don't mind, I'm going to take a minute to do that.
No, absolutely,
Okay?
absolutely.
So, usually, there's a lot of different cuddling positions.
I'll be right back.
And I would have, depending on what you want, curiosity or things like that, I would cuddle you in different ways. So when you talk about setting that you wanted, that's a nice one that we can do. I have the opportunity of having 2 for the price of 1 today. Lucky you.
So you and I will go in the hallway. Okay, Marilyn, I just wanted to ask you some questions like, can you tell me about the demographic? Is there any particular trend towards like who purchases your services? Is it primarily men or women or gay or people or married people in relationships?
Actually, it's really hard to answer to that one because it varies so much. This service can really touch everyone. So men, women, younger, older. It seems that so many people need touch or just want one because it feels really, really good.
So I'm guessing you have a lot of like return clients, return customers. You build relationships with them in that way.
And that's our goal, in fact. Because it's an intimate service, usually people prefer to come back to the same cuddler.
Okay, cool. Now, I know you guys do sort of like a cuddling school here.
Yes.
Right? Can you kind of walk me through like what you cover in that? I know you don't want to give away too many trade secrets here, but
what I can say is when I started interviewing people for the cuddlery, I was really, really surprised how many people said that they were actually really good and they were just average. And I was thinking, I cannot hire anyone with that standard. So I started giving them classes. And when I saw how much they improved quickly, I saw that actually it's really easy. For example, slow is the key if you want a soothing experience.
Now, I know you guys offer some services for people in sort of a crisis or a panic state. How does it work when, like at the end of the hour or at the end of the session, is there any sort of negative effect when you have to ask for the payment or you have to leave?
The payment are always done at the beginning anyway, and it's like a psychologist. I would say that, of course, we would prefer giving it for free, but it's a service that is really valuable. So, and we're proud of giving it. And when we see the person leaving that feels happier, lighter, we feel good as well.
And my understanding is it's sort of, it's draining on you as well because you're giving so much emotionally sort of and physically, right? It's a really deep experience.
It is deep, but it's not always draining. It can give much more after a good cuddling session. I'm really energized.
Okay, I was just curious if you could sort of walk me through some of your pricing options. I know you have like a half hour and an hour session, and you have one with a massage option and a skin-to-skin option as well. Can you just kind of walk me through some of that?
So the massage option is not a real massage. We're not massage therapists, but it's a cuddly massage. So we mix massage techniques with cuddling and affection. So that's one. Another one in crisis is when someone is in panic and needs just a shoulder to cry or just tell their problems. Skin to skin is not sexual at all. I will have to change this name. It just means more surface of contact, which is beneficially good. Studies shows actually that that's the best way it can be. So it just means shorts and a short top. So it's still clothed.
Right. So the man would wear shorts only, and obviously the woman would wear
shorts and a top.
Tank top kind of thing. Okay, so I know there's probably a lot of people who are like, oh yeah, right, sure, right? So maybe this is an opportunity for you to dispel some of those rumors. I know, there's obviously going to be some sexual arousal in this intimate situation, so maybe you can just speak on that.
Well, actually, sexual arousal can happen, and we really don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable about it.
Right.
It's just we won't push it. It's like in a massage. A man can be aroused, but we just change position, we continue, and there's nothing there to worry about.
Yeah, and you have a really strict rule about the whole sexual aspect of this, right?
Yes.
And there's a contract that has to be abided by and signed on both parties. How about, a lot of people are wondering, about people who are in relationships, married people who participate in this. Maybe you can speak on that a little bit.
Actually, some of our cuddlers are married. Some of our cuddlers are in a relationship. And what we give is affection. And because it's platonic, we really don't feel at all that there's any problem about it. And that's the beauty. It's to share affection and to share love in a platonic way.
Okay. I mean, you're always going to have some people who just obviously this isn't their, game. But, there's different strokes for different folks. But it is an intimate act. Have you experienced any issues with attachment or emotions from a customer?
It could happen, and the cuddlery is not against love. So if it would happen, if it's reciprocated, why not? I mean, people can fall in love, and it's just if it happens, well, they won't be clients anymore.
Right. Now, how about safety? I know a lot of people. I've had some conversations with people about this, and they're like, "Well, what is this person going to do? They're just in somebody's house," or maybe speak to me about how you deal with the cuddler or the cuddly's safety.
I would say that it's much safer than online dating. We have safety protocol to ensure that our cuddlers are safe and that the clients are safe. And with that, I don't think there's much problems.
What sort of screening do you do for the people that you hire?
To hire, there's an interview with 3 steps. First step is question scenarios. Second step is the cuddling skills, so simulation of a cuddling session. And then the third step is checking security, so security criminal check.
Background check?
Yes.
Okay, cool. That's great. Now, one of the things I read on your website, I think, was that you suggested you could hire a cuddler to come and cuddle with maybe one of your parents if they're living in a retirement home or such a thing. Have you actually had that happen?
Not yet. We're a new business, but it's someone that said, are you coming to Ottawa? I would really want to hire you for that. Okay. So there's really some people actually that ask me to do that.
Fantastic. And last question, what is the craziest experience that you've had so far?
I've been lucky. I mean, I've only had positive experience up to now.
I might have to check back with you after a year or so. I think
I'll be there.
Generally, people are pretty good out there. There's some cool people, but there's also every once in a while you get a bad egg. So it might be interesting to see. But
yes.
I wish you all the best, and I hope that you can continue making a positive effect in people's lives.
Thank you.
It certainly seems like Sukh is, really gotten the benefits of this, and I look forward to following up with him afterward.
Excellent.
So thank you once again, Marilyn, for your time.
Well, I wanted to make sure before I came here today that my glass was empty.
So, Deborah, you are available in the Surrey region, is that correct?
Yes. I live close to Lougheed Mall, so I just pop across the bridge and I can come and cuddle anyone in Surrey. I know the area pretty well, having been working in that area previously, so I know all the roads and I know how to get there, so I'd love to come to Surrey.
Fantastic. So maybe you can just tell me a little bit about your background and how you got into this line of work.
Well, my friend and I were just talking about that. I was born into it. I was raised by a mom who woke me every morning with what we called tickies in our family. The little cuddles to come on, sleepyhead, wake up, and grandma that rubbed my back, and later on my sister and I used to rub each other's backs at night. It's just like I've always done it. And as I got a little bit into my teen years, I used to negotiate with my sister. You know, I'd bring her up a pop and she would give me 100 rubs. And then I got to count. She was 5 years younger. Anyway, so as I got older, I always had wonderful affection in my relationships, but I became widowed later on, and I couldn't figure out, I knew the grief was causing me pain, but I couldn't figure out why I just couldn't get that happiness going until I discovered cuddle parties, and that's how I got started back into it. So I started going weekly to the cuddle parties and started to receive the oxytocin and the endorphins and even all the other wonderful things, Deepak Chopra's, that are increased in your organs and in your brain. So I started to feel happier, and talking about I started to fill my cup up again, and it was overflowing. And over the years I've always been called cuddly and affectionate. I'd been appreciated for it, but it didn't really sink in until I lived without it. So once I got back into it, I realized that this would be a great service to share, because there's so many people who are separated now. There's so much separation from technology. Just people, we don't have the grannies living with us and giving us the cuddles anymore. So as my mom got older, she's in a nursing home, I go and cuddle her now, and which is kind of a neat full circle.
Lovely.
When I was when she used to cuddle me when I was little. So it's really neat. And I know there's a lot of old people that might like that if their boomer kids want to partake of this service. I would love to do that. So I thought about putting ads out, and then I discovered Marilyn Reed, who's now setting up the cuddlery, has set up the cuddlery, and I thought, this is perfect. I get to work with her. She does all of the marketing and the contracts and kind of the administrative stuff, and I get to do what I'm good at, which is cuddle. And,
wonderful.
So I'm really happy to be here.
So
I love her vision too. I think it's a really good vision, and she's got a strong commitment to seeing this succeed. So.
Good. Were these cuddle? I'm curious about the cuddle parties. I've never participated or heard of those. So
they've been around for a long time.
Really?
It's a little bit, I would call it a little bit underground.
Yeah.
But it's starting to poke its head up now, because the province did a huge article on it I think it was in the fall.
Yeah.
There was an article on the front page of the province. So they're starting to fill up quite a bit.
Right here in the Vancouver region.
They're Vancouver and Richmond and Victoria.
Yeah.
That's where I found them. So
cool.
And so but a lot of people find that it's very time consuming. It's 3 or 4 hours. It's a bit awkward with strangers.
How does that work exactly?
Well, we work at it to overcome. You know, when you first go in there, you notice people's size, their shape, their color, their sex, their culture. But by the end of 3 or 4 hours, it's just one big cuddle puddle of emerging. So, but you know, people who don't want to, it takes a lot of courage and time. Yeah. So people I think this is a better alternative for people who just want really more the one-on-one, develop a relationship with one person where they can count on a certain level of affection. Because not everybody's good at this. Yeah. And but as I said, I was born to it.
Wonderful. Sukh, do you have any comments or questions or anything for her?
No, this is an absolutely wonderful experience. I can feel your energy.
Yeah. You can tell I love it. It energizes me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's not like I'm draining or I'm going there and I'm thinking about other things. I just feel present, and I feel really honored that people are willing to let their hearts connect with mine and receive this great affection. And the other thing is, all my life I've taken courses in Indian head massage, certified twice, and I took reflexology and acupressure and chakra knowledge, all these different things, but I never had the urge to go and work at them in a clinical sort of way. And I kept asking the universe, like, how can I use these things? So now I can incorporate them into this work. And some people will be willing to receive certain things, maybe more the feet or more the head or you know, or even just opening the heart chakra, whatever. So everyone's at a different level, and I can kind of cater to whatever level they're at and bring them along.
Cool. Well, you're both glowing.
Yeah, that's what it does. It gives you a glow.
Yeah.
Well, I can really feel your energy, and this whole experience it's been very therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
You know, I would highly recommend this if you're stressed out any sort of way, or you just want to enhance your ability to connect with another human being. I would highly recommend this. It really took me on a journey back into my childhood, being the youngest out of 5. I think, Deborah, you just spoke about your childhood, about getting tickies and all that. Well, yeah, I mean, I used to cuddle with my mom and go to sleep with her. We had I have 4 other brothers and sisters, 5 of us all together. I was the youngest out of 5. So, when I was young, we lived in a very small home. So yeah, it was just an absolutely wonderful experience, and I really enjoyed the cuddling, and I think this is something that has a real opportunity to make a difference in people's lives.
Everyone should give themselves this gift of receiving. That's what I think.
Okay. Thank you.
It actually opened my eyes to witness, how it went down, and I could see the reaction that Sukh was having, and he seemed to be having a really positive experience, quite a deep experience. It's sort of hard to express. You can probably do better justice to it since you actually experienced it, but I could see what was happening there. There was something special, and it wasn't just like weird, it was real, right?
People think hugging as a part of the whole sexual experience, the whole sexual part was taken totally out of it, so you're not expecting anything like that. So the whole focus is on the actual hugging itself. Sometimes, hugging is used as foreplay leading up to the sex, but this was very sensual. The experience for me was very childlike in some positions.
They do say, however, that when people get aroused and stuff, mostly guys in this situation. Well, actually, that's not true. I think women get aroused by this as well. That's completely natural.
Yeah.
And they don't expect you not to do that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of just like part of the experience, from what I'm told.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're thinking of doing this, don't be like, well, I wouldn't dare do it because like get aroused or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be cool with that.
Yeah. So my experience with the whole arousal part, at the beginning, because there's a sense of electricity when a man and a woman touch each other, and when there's still some sort of affection. So there was some sort of electricity, you could say, a little bit of arousal. However, it is actually just something that is very natural, but it's also something that dissipates after all when it becomes so focused on the heart. There's a slight stigma with that. Is that right, Tim? Like cuddling in general, people kind of
people
think it's weird. They laugh.
For sure, almost everybody I've spoken to thinks that. How would you respond if they had provided you a man to cuddle with tonight?
Well, if I had a man to cuddle with, I think it would be a little bit different. So, Daman, if me and you want to experience that, if you really want to know how it would feel like, I'm more than willing, Daman, to take you up on this offer.
All right, well, you know what? You're really good there, Sukh, at picking up on my undertones. So we're going to shut the thing off now.